Hi, I'm Edie Workentine, an Inyo-Mono County Master Gardener. Although I'm standing in front of my raised beds for a little showing off, today we're here to talk about growing berries in your backyard.
Hi, I'm Bobby Striefler, and I've been a member of the Inyo-Mono Master Gardeners for 10 years. And I wanted to show you our berry garden. We've been growing berries here for over 20 years. So this is our thornless blackberries. It's actually a Navajo thornless blackberry. And we started this row with starts from friends. And as you can see, it's a huge wall of berries. And right now it's setting fruit. We have blossoms and tons of bees on them.
Bobby, what kind of a support structure do you have here?
So we didn't invest any money in this support structure. We just went and found old steel. We've got electrical wire running between, and it's kind of a homemade trellis. And there's cross bars in here because it's gotten so heavy. As you can see, it looks like it's maybe 6 to 8 feet tall. And berries have to be supported, and these vines on this will they'll grow 10, 15 feet long if you let them. So it has to be supported on something.
How do you prune these berries, Bobby?
So pruning these obviously is really important, and your fruit is always going to set on your second year growth. So like right here, we've got some new growth. No berries this year. Next year, this is going to be an important one. And it's actually nice and big, which tells me that's going to be a keeper. And in the fall and the winter, this year it even happened in early spring, we're pruning out the vines that are dying because they've produced fruit. And some of the new ones that come in, like I said, they're going to get long. They're going to be, maybe 15 feet long. And we need to, do a cut on those, and then we'll get 2 laterals from that. So pruning, some people say it has to happen at this certain time. I'll be honest with you, I don't worry about that. Even in the summer, if I find something dead, I go ahead and cut it out of there and keep things cleared up.
So what kind of soil are these berries planted in, Bobby?
So this is just the soil that was here. There's nothing special added to it when we start. But we've been growing, like I said, berries here for over 20 years. So each winter we come in and we attempt to remove all these weeds, and then we put steer manure on them just to enrich that soil. And then early spring, sometimes before that, late winter, early spring, we add compost and fertilizer just to re-energize it. So otherwise it's just a basic native soil.
Now we're going to move on to Bobby's raspberries. What kind of raspberries do you have here, Bobby?
So I'm not sure the specific variety, but we have a mix in here. We have everbearing, which means we're going to get an early spring crop like you see here, and then we're going to get a fall crop from that same vine right there. And then we also have what they call summer bearing that only produces fruit once. And so it's a mix. I have to say I'm leaning more towards the everbearing. I love having 2 crops from it.
Our other berry crop is a raspberry. This varietal is a raspberry shortcake. It's actually a dwarf bush that requires no trellising or staking. Grows best in full sun and likes to have fertilizer in early spring and again later in the summer. As you can see, the raspberries start fruiting. This is middle of June and they're all getting ready, but we haven't had any ripe ones yet. I see you have a similar support structure for the berries here, Bobby. How about the pruning? Is that similar as well?
So these do not get those long vines. And let's talk about the everbearing ones first. So this is berries that are set on here. We're gonna, hopefully they'll ripen. We'll harvest them. And then this is gonna start dying back. So I can actually go in here and clip this. Sometimes I don't have time. and it doesn't really affect anything. We still get another crop of berries on there. So the other thing is I've done a lot of research on pruning raspberries, and it seems like some people say prune them down to the ground in the fall and winter. Others say leave some length on them, you know, or height, I should say. And I've been doing just that, and I've increased the yield. Harvest has been phenomenal on these, and you can see all the berries here.
So how many berries does this big forest of berries yield you, Bobby?
You know, I've never really counted, and I was thinking about that this morning. And when we fill our freezer, mainly with blackberries, then raspberries, and a little bit of blueberries, we have approximately 120 to 150 sandwich bags filled with berries. So it's huge. And a lot of people say, oh my gosh, how would you ever eat that? We eat fresh fruit every day, and once the good stuff is no longer available, we're eating those frozen berries. We're just finishing off last year's harvest. Got a few bags left in the freezer.
Bobby, what's the most challenging part about growing all these berries?
So truth is, it happens in winter, and when we start the cleanup, and we have to do cleanup here because underneath all of this, we're gonna find all kinds of squash bugs and actually box elder bugs. They get in all the old debris and earwigs. And so every winter, our practice now, and it goes into spring often, so winter and spring, we're clearing all of this vegetation around these berries. And we want to give them room to breathe and these new stalks room to grow. We're going to cut out the old stalks and make room for the new.